The following's been brought to you by Alpha Aesthetics Partners.
Some kids don't make it to 2 years old, and so the doctors, they were like telling me where he's at now based on, the progression and everything. He could be 40s or 50s, and then think about all the science that will happen between now and then. So, let's just take one day at a time.
And I took him to the park, and I remember crying because I'm sitting here with the most sweet, beautiful boy who wanted to interact with all the other kids, and they're like just running past him.
I'm not saying build a park for kids with disabilities. I'm saying build a park that includes kids with disabilities. It's still going to be the same playground, the same kids.
Is it rude to call someone disabled?
No, actually, that word I know is really hard for some people to say because it feels rude, but it's not. I have to lift Austin for the rest of my life, or at least help with transferring. So I knew I had to do something to take care of myself. Yeah, we're all about functional fitness, and it's been a really crucial part of the last 4 or 5 years for me because it was hard. There's been a lot of hard. And so that was a good, positive thing to go keep me baseline, at least. Dr. Seuss quote, no one's youer than you. And I think that applies to kind of the advocacy thing too. If I don't do it, who will, kind of thing. And if I'm called to do it, I should do it because somebody needs to do it. And that's on any topic.
When times got hard, you buckled up and you were like, all right, let's fight back. I am really happy to have you on today. I'm having all the people that I really love on the show. So I want to start off with sharing how we met.
Yeah.
So I was actually, here we go. We're going to go deep. I was actually going through a really dark time and struggling in my life and wanting sort of a reboot and walking away from a career that I thought I wanted that I didn't end up wanting. And I knew that working with kids brought me a lot of joy and I really liked it. So I decided that I was going to leave my regular job, and I went on care.com and I applied to watch kids.
Put your profile up.
Yeah, put my profile up, which was so funny. I think about it now. I'm like, that is such a shot in the dark. And I specifically had listed I loved and had worked with kids with special needs. And the first day, I can't remember if it was 50 or 100, somewhere in between there, people ping, 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 ping. And I was like, dang, that was way faster than I thought. You were the first person that was on there. And I don't remember if you called me, I called you. I don't remember how we responded, but we decided to meet up.
Yeah.
You were pregnant.
I remember so much about this day and not much in between.
Really? That's so funny.
Okay.
And you were pregnant and we call him Little Austin because I have Big Austin. Yeah. My son's Austin, your son's Austin. We have Little Austin, we have Big Austin. So you'll hear me refer to him as Little Austin a lot on the show. And you brought Little Austin and I instantly fell in love. And I knew this was the people I wanted to help and be part of their family for a while. Yeah. And we went from there.
I think we both tried to play it a little cool
at the
meeting. Because I had also posted that day or got on or whatever that day. And so you were the first interview, both first interview. And so we didn't really know what we were doing either. But every part of our conversation was oh, I have 4 kids. Oh, I have 4 kids. One of them has a medical thing. One of mine has a medical thing. Every single thing. And then we were at a point where we were just really needy for some nurturing from you, apparently.
Well, whoever.
Yeah.
Lucky me.
And so, it just felt, I know at the end we were okay, we've got a couple other people to talk to, which we didn't. And so we went home and talked about it and we're immediately yes.
It was the best fit ever.
It was awesome.
I got to be, for people who don't understand, Austin at the time, he wasn't really diagnosed with anything, but there were some signs of something.
He was 2.5.
Yeah. And he had been walking and then regressed and was using a walker and braces on his legs. And I got to basically be some form of a respite worker. So I would take him to horse therapy. I'd take him to speech therapy. I'd take him to physical therapy. And for people that don't understand what that's like for a parent that has a child going through all of that, it's freaking miserable because you're taking your child to things that maybe not the horse therapy, but a lot of the other things were not fun for him.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like he was being punished to some degree. It was painful. It was hard. It was whatever. And then you're dealing with a 2-year-old who you're trying to get to stay focused on these things so that he can grow. And it was terrible for you guys.
Yeah. It was really hard. And it's not like you can drop him off and say, okay, do your thing.
Right.
You have to actively be there, lifting, holding, cheerleading the entire time, trying to get them to enjoy it at least a little bit and participate. Yeah, it's really exhausting.
It's really exhausting. And it's also probably changes the dynamic of your relationship with your child because you're spending hours every day with them in pain and you're pushing them to do these exercises that are painful and hard.
At that age especially, he didn't understand why.
No.
And they do try to make it feel like play, but it's pretty tough.
It's pretty tough. Yeah. It was. So one of the things, like a profound moment for me, was a day I picked him up and I was like, I'm taking him to the park. And you were like, good luck with that. And you were like, I don't do that anymore. And I was like, what? You're like, you'll see. And I took him to the park and I remember crying because I'm sitting here with the most sweet, beautiful boy who wanted to interact with all the other kids. And they're like just running past him. And there isn't anything he can do unless I go do it with him. Like he couldn't get up to the slide to slide down it. He couldn't go on a regular swing unless I sat in it. They had some really lame tactile things he could do.
Yeah.
He couldn't even push his walker because the bark wouldn't allow him to push his walker through. And he was trying so hard and he wasn't sad about it. Like he had such a good attitude of like,
he wanted to get it done.
Hey, every time someone would run by. And once in a while, there'd be a really sweet kid that would come and they would give him some attention and interact a little bit. But then they would run off because there wasn't much that they could do with him. And it was a big wake-up call for me of how sort of dysfunctional our playgrounds in America are for being inclusive.
Yeah.
And I had learned from another mom who her son had autism that parks were hard for her because they weren't closed off. So her son would run and she'd be chasing him and it was just really hard. So she could only go to parks that had a fence or a gate around them. I mean, there were just so many things, even from down to the bark, anybody in a wheelchair, anybody who has a difficult time walking, anything like that, how that basically ruins the playground for them. They can't even be mobile to get around. So there were so many moments that were aha moments for me that I learned what it was like to be you as his mom. And I could only imagine when you love your child the way a mom loves her child and to see them not being able to have fun like all the other kids, how heartbreaking that had to be for you.
Yeah, it was and is because, you know, he's 10 now. He still wants to play.
Yeah.
He's 10 and also I would say he's 6, you know, like some things are just delayed because of delays in general. And it changed over time. Like I used to really get triggered when other kids would say, what's wrong with him? I can't even say that without crying.
Yeah.
And kids can't help it. They're curious. And so I tried to come up with a way to say it that wouldn't offend him, as little as he was, but would also be like, oh, his legs, you know. It took me a long time to figure out what to say. And now that he's in a chair, it's a little easier because I can say, he uses a chair to get around just like you run or whatever. But that was the most triggering then. Sorry.
No,
And then I think I got mad.
For sure.
And just looked around and was like, who's doing all this? And like the most aggravating thing was seeing a playground advertised as inclusive or accessible. And what they meant by that was like the bare minimum, like a handicap accessible parking spot and a ramp to get into Bark.
Right.
Like, cool. Actually, that Bark is considered ADA accessible, which is a joke.
That's such a joke.
I know. And the reason that parks and playgrounds go for that is because it's cheaper to replace and to manage. But, you know, I can get into that money stuff later. But it's just the bare minimum. And it was making me think like compliance is one word, but compliance is not serving people. Compliance is like the bare minimum.
Our community dollars come together to make these parks.
Yeah.
But we're only making them for certain kids.
Right. And that's the thing that comes up sometimes when I'm talking about inclusive playgrounds is, but there's not that many kids that might need it or benefit from it. And I'm like, I'm not saying build a park for kids with disabilities. I'm saying build a park that includes kids with disabilities. It's still going to be the same playground, the same kids. And actually now you get more because you get the kids with disabilities and the families. And you might get grandparents out there too who couldn't walk and bark to follow their little ones around. That. Yeah. So, and like personally, I'm not game to climb up on slides all the time. Especially now that he's like 95 pounds. So when he was,
it was hard when he was 2.
Yeah. So when he was 2.5, maybe I could get up there and do it with him. But yeah. And then the other thing I think that people forget about is siblings. Like if my daughter's younger than him, and if I want to take her to the playground, he's just sitting there. Can't do anything. And so now she's missing out as well because I can't do it. Same with, like you were saying, with kids with autism who may run or elope. If you don't have a fence, I can't watch more than one kid. So yeah, it's easy fixes too. That's what's crazy. Fixing the ground cover, adding a couple of cool elements, not just like the sensory stuff like you were talking about. Like that's fun too, but come on. And then a fence and maybe some shade. Does this feel like we're asking for too much?
Right. And I wonder where the disconnect, like the people that are choosing what kind of parks to be built are just not in it to understand it.
No, they just don't know.
They just don't know better. It's not intentionally to leave them out or exclude them. It's just ignorance.
Yes. And I think that's been one of the biggest things I've realized in having a kid with a disability and becoming a family that does this all the time. People are just in their own world and they don't know what they don't know until it happens. And so,
which is why I want you on this show.
Yeah. And so I'm learning stuff every day, right? And so I can't expect everyone to know everything or to even empathize at first, but I share it a lot.
You do, but you do a good job. I will always say you're so safe to talk to about this stuff. I think some people are really afraid to ask the questions that I'm going to ask today because they don't want to offend.
Yeah.
And you've always been really good at making people feel safe and non-judged. And like, you're not an idiot for not knowing this. Thank you for actually asking.
That. Yeah, it's true. Well, I'm just so aware of what I don't know. So I don't mind educating and I'm kind of passive. So I really do need someone to ask a question because if it happens and like, I'm just pissed about it, that'll go a different direction.
So funny. So shortly after we became friends, you started a nonprofit called Walk with Austin.
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
Yeah. So I think at that time, Austin was like maybe 3 and I had a lot of out of control stuff in life because he didn't have a diagnosis yet. We didn't even know what we were working with. We just knew our kid was like regressing in a lot of different ways. I had a newborn because that was a smart idea.
She is a huge blessing though.
But she is. And then I have bigger kids doing their stuff. And so I was staying home kind of for the first time, full time as a mom. But I also had so much out of control and I needed something to do with that energy. And my husband, Adam, as well. And so we decided to come up with a nonprofit to at least feel like we could do some advocacy or education. And specifically here, there needed to be more inclusive playgrounds and options. So we first started with like small endeavors and like our warm network of people we know, getting people to care about what we care about. We had like a backyard barbecue fundraiser, stuff like that. And then we sponsored a few adaptive trikes for kids. That was like our first. Oh, and then that piece of equipment, PT, that was like $17,000. So we did those kind of things to get started to see if we could do it and like how feasible it would be. And then it's kind of evolved since then. And so now we have like the huge triathlon every year, which is exciting.
T-R-Y,
triathlon for kids with disabilities. And so it's our biggest fundraiser of the year. I think we've raised like $120,000 so far. And we give it to the CSD in El Dorado Hills because what I have found is there's a lot of people asking for them to spend money in certain ways, right? There's the softball people, there's the soccer people, there's the nature preserve people that are all trying to get the local money, right, to serve them. And so me too, I want them to serve my platform, but I'm also willing to like do some work and say, here, let's do this.
Right.
And I'm just trying to like grease the wheels a little bit.
You're a pretty smart businesswoman. That's for sure. You're probably the only one bringing them money instead of just asking for it.
They actually said that at a meeting once. We got to present like the big check, after the triathlon. And they were like, and they actually said that at the, whatever it's called, directors meeting. They're like, you're one of the only groups that actually brings us money instead of yelling for money.
So I want to talk about the triathlon. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite events of the year.
Yeah.
I do it every year. My family and I love to help with it.
Yep.
It brings me so much joy. Anyone in the community that wants to have a day where you're reminded about joy and happiness and families and adversity. And like, it's got a little bit of all of that in it.
Yeah.
I just don't know. When I think about the triathlon, I think about the word joy. There are so many joyful athletes and families watching their athlete participate. I have kids that have done high level sports. I have never felt that level of happiness except in an athletic arena, except when I've done triathlon.
Yeah. I love it. It was originally we thought, what can we bring to the table that would be a fun community event? What do people around here like to do? Well, they like to do like marathons and triathlons and stuff like that. But how can we incorporate our kids with disabilities? And so that's kind of where it came from. And it's just such an opportunity for them to participate in a community event, not just like a kids with disabilities event, but it's in the community. We have like 120 volunteers every year. So they feel super supported and like protected in that environment. And they might cheer on their siblings and parents at their things all year round. Like if they're a baseball sibling or whatever, they go to all this stuff, but that day's for them. Right. And I think that's really exciting. And for them in a good way. Like, yeah, they probably do get a lot of attention from their family all the time because they're high need.
Right.
But this is attention in a good way.
Right.
And something totally different. So we let them do whatever they need to do. One year, Austin had 2 casts, and so he boated in the swim portion instead of swimming.
Right. We put him in a little boat across the pool.
And so they can do whatever they want. And I think they really enjoy it. And
it's swim, bike, run.
Swim, bike, run, roll.
Yeah, roll. Yes.
And their faces are super serious because they're really trying to do a good job. And I love that because at the end, just that pride that you get. Anyone who does physical activities knows that you get a lot of pride when you push yourself past like your normal boundaries.
All of the volunteers are going crazy cheering them on.
The finish line is so exciting. And then they immediately, almost every one of them immediately turns and hugs their parent. And so I'm like, oh my God.
It's so beautiful. It's literally the coolest thing.
Yeah. I love it.
It's not only great for the volunteers and the ability to watch somebody do something hard and complete it and see the joy in their face when these athletes do complete the swim portion. And maybe somebody had never thought they could do a swim race, but it's like in a boat, or you're doing it with your grandpa who's helping you swim across in a life jacket, or whatever your need is, you guys adapt for that.
Yep.
Each athlete has their own buddy who makes sure that they get to go from each, like if you're a parent and you don't know what's happening, you get to show up and just be a parent for the day. I feel like so many parents that are dealing with kids that have a disability are also trying to, let me get this set up. Let me take care of this. Let me take that. They don't get to just be a spectator like you do for your other children.
Yep.
And so here they get to be a spectator and just watch and cheer on because your athlete has a buddy. It's beautiful. Yeah.
And I think a lot of them were even hesitant to try it. Or the families probably. The kids probably would be like, heck yes. But families can be hesitant because they're like, my kid doesn't always love the water. And I'm like, then skip the swim.
Right.
Honestly, we don't care.
We don't care. Just
whatever. If they want to bike 5 laps, go for it.
Instead of 3 or
they'll still feel like they got to do something cool and be awarded. They all get first place medals. They all get a picture on the podium. It's just really such a rewarding day.
It is.
And I think for the volunteers and the community members that come just for like the finisher party, they get to see like how we take our own health and mobility for granted. Not all the kids there have mobility issues. Some you don't even know that they have a disability because it's a hidden one. But then we have kids with running blades and kids like Austin in a chair. And so you're thinking, dang, I should not take my body for granted, and use it more.
So I have a couple questions for you. I want to know, what are some of the biggest challenges that people are faced with when trying to find an inclusive play space? Is it the ground? Is it the ramps? Is it the handicap parking? Is it like, what's one of the biggest no-nos on a playground that kids with disabilities would need? What would be the first line of attack?
The ground. Ground. Definitely ground cover.
Accessibility.
We just opened 2 years ago one at Jackson Elementary because the principal was like a big cheerleader for it. And she got all these people and funding sources on the same page. And so it's the ground. They have this poured in place rubber rock kind of thing that's safer for other kids too with falling off swings and whatever. But you can roll wheels on it. You can like I said, grandparents can walk easier on it. It does take a little more upkeep, and I think that's why there's some hesitation to use that, but that makes all the difference.
Sure.
Yeah. I think fencing is easy, and that makes a difference for people. There are some more specific, like wheelchair-friendly apparatus and stuff, so maybe that's not like the first thing you do.
Right, but there are
any
more
playground
options
can
to
change the ground cover.
continue. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That should be
Right?
baseline.
Right.
Okay. So I have this question for you, but it's bringing me to a moment in our friendship where I remember you having Jared and I over, and you and Adam were there to tell us. Basically, he had been diagnosed. You finally had found out what had caused this, because when he was first born, he walked.
Right.
I've seen videos. It's like,
yeah.
yeah. And then being a front seat in his life for all these years, I've watched that reversed.
Yeah.
Progressively. Like when I first met him, we were using braces and a walker.
Yeah.
And now he's in a wheelchair. And I remember you talking about the longevity of him, and that was a really hard thing. And the way you handled it, all of those people closest to him, to pull us aside individually and kind of.
Well, we knew how hard it was for us to hear. And so we wanted to be as gentle as we could in telling other people, which you don't have to do that. I know people were also like, quit worrying about everybody else's feelings. But
It was really thoughtful.
I just wanted to share it in like, you're our trusted people also, like people that we really trusted and that we know love him the way we do. Yeah, the first 5 years of his life, I was just Googling the entire internet every night and trying to figure it out on my own, and didn't know, it is what it is, and it's not going to get worse. I also thought in all those PT therapy sessions, is there any point to this? Can he get better?
I remember that.
Like, I don't know. Are we doing all this work? And like he was getting Botox injections in his legs and being sedated for different things. I'm like, is all this doing anything?
Right.
It just felt like really out of control. And then we finally got a diagnosis through some genetic testing, like a third round of genetic testing. And so then we knew, but then it was scarier too, because it's like a rare disease that's progressive. Sorry. And the doctor that called me to tell me said, do not Google this. And of course,
you Googled it.
Come on. First thing I did. And so the worst case scenario is what the internet, tells you. And his is not that. And I'm thankful for that. We went to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, where there's like the experts on this disease. And
what's the disease called?
Aicardi-Goutieres syndrome. It's a leukodystrophy that's like his immune system's attacking his brain. And don't Google any of this because I cannot say it properly. But, and so some kids don't make it to 2 years old. And I think the internet told me like a certain percentage don't make it past 17. And that was really scary for me. And then when we went to CHOP and saw the doctors, they were like telling me where he's at now based on, the progression and everything. He could be 40s or 50s. And then think about all the science that will happen between now and then. So, let's just take one day at a time. And that was really helpful. I don't think about it, on the daily now like I did then about limited time and stuff, because we all have limited time, and I know that. But
I think one of the things, because my son having a liver disease and knowing statistically or that Google or internet would be that I would outlive him. And I think as a mom, processing that early was more than I could possibly bear. And it changed the way I was living my life, which actually leads me to the question that I was going to ask you, which is how is having Austin changed the way you see the world? Like for me, it changed the world for me in a way that I didn't have control over his disease. I couldn't stop it. His is progressive as well. I couldn't stop it, and I couldn't prevent him from needing a transplant at some point and all of that. But I could make sure the days we have on this earth, we were the example and taught him how to live full. And
he does, Connor.
He does. Yeah, he does. We all do, but he definitely does. And that was for me what changed my perspective of the world.
Yeah.
Was that we don't have control over people's vitality. And what we have control over is how we live our life today.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I think We are just like yes people.
You
Maybe
guys live full.
maybe naturally, but also like enhanced by this. So, I mean, we're busy. Everyone's busy, but like we will say yes to any opportunity. So he's like the buddy for the UC Davis baseball team. And then somebody asked me to come to a Rotary meeting. Sure, I'll come talk about it. We're just like in that space in life of we want him to live his best life. We actually have he's getting a bedroom makeover from another organization called Sweet Dreams.
Oh, I've met them. My friend is on that board.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's happening in 2 weeks. I just feel like we're trying to do everything we can to just live
fully.
Yeah. Him
whatever
and
happens,
us.
whatever happens, but at least you know that you've done it the best you can. Like when you're done,
right,
your shoes are worn out.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And it's changed the way that I interact with other people or see the world and other people at large, like whoever they are. And I think I'm getting better at giving grace to people like who ask some questions.
Totally. Which we're going to get to.
Because there are a lot of people, including adults, not just kids, that will be really intrusive, like the medical questions. And I want to be like, well, tell me your medical history.
Yeah, right.
But I am feeling some more grace on that. And just like I said, with people don't know what they don't know, like there's no excuse to park in a
Let's go off
spot.
on this. This is on my list of like how many times you've had to post because
This is my favorite
you have a van.
advocacy topic.
You have a van that is made your life easier so you don't have to lift Austin as much as you used to. And it has a ramp and it is automatic. And this ramp comes out of the side of the van. So when you pull into a handicap accessible spot, there's usually a striped area next to the side of the car for this particular thing that people may need that are in a wheelchair. And so often, some Yahoo will literally park right next to your van.
Yeah.
So then when you come back out to your car, you cannot even put your son in the car and you are trapped.
Yeah. And I'm worried about their car and him getting too close and
scratching it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my biggest nemesis. I have a whole folder in my phone, parking files, because it's just such an easy fix. Like, for one, don't park there if you don't need it.
Right.
Like, don't. It's not for convenience. It's not for drop-offs. It's not to go in and get your Starbucks real quick. Like, just don't be an idiot.
Right.
And then the lines. I'm actually a terrible parker too, but if I see the lines are needed, I'm going to adjust a couple times.
Right.
Like, you don't need to come and park in halfway. And then I saw one yesterday where they just used that as an additional space to park in. And I was like, oh my gosh.
And I know it's ignorance. I know they don't realize why that's there.
Sometimes it's ignorance, but sometimes it's disrespectful.
Yeah. Sometimes it's because you think like, I'm just running in here. My time matters more than someone else's.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then my husband, like he loves to educate people like in real life. If he sees it, he's like, sir, did you know, blah, blah, blah. Not me. I'm like, get in the car fast. But I like to post about it and let people read about it in their own time.
I think it's helpful. Yeah. I've reposted you a handful of times.
Yeah.
I actually think it's super helpful for ignorant people that don't understand what those lines are for.
Right. Right.
So tell me some of the biggest faux pas people make. Like one thing I always wonder, when we had our cheer team, the Sparkle Squad, everybody on Sparkle Squad had some form of a disability, whether it was hidden or very obvious. Everybody did. And we created an environment for them to be able to be athletes and perform and all of that. But when that first started, it was more proper to use the term someone like
special
Austin with a disability, not a disabled person. Now what is the proper term?
So people first. That's the way you have to think about it. People first. So Austin has a disability.
Perfect.
He might explain himself as disabled, in certain contexts.
Is it rude to call someone disabled?
No. Actually, that word I know is really hard for some people to say because it feels rude, but it's not. It's just what it is. And it's actually the most to the point. Even special needs is kind of going by the wayside because everyone has special needs.
Right. We all have something.
It's kind of generic.
Yeah.
And it's not to the point. Like the point is this person needs accommodations for this, that, or the other thing. And so I think it's okay to say, well, I know it's okay to say disability. They have a disability. Kids with disabilities. And then when I'm advocating for playgrounds, I'll often say all abilities, like kids of all abilities. And
because
I think
we're talking about autism. We're talking about things that aren't as obvious when you first look at someone.
And I think that makes people feel better to say all abilities and disabilities sometimes. But honestly,
it probably depends on what way you're referencing it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are
Yeah.
some big faux pas people do that we can learn from you
Yeah.
on how to do better?
Well, I think, okay, he's 10. He's adorable. He's in a power chair. That's not something you see every day, right? Like a
Right.
10-year-old power chair. But people like pat him on the head. Like those are actually boundaries,
Right.
physical boundaries that you should.
He's not your
And then,
puppy.
yes. And then they will talk to me instead of him. That's annoying because you should always talk to the kid first. Maybe they're nonverbal and that's okay, but you can still say hi and figure that out.
Right.
And then have a conversation with the parents if you need to. I always appreciate when people stop to try to talk to him first. And then just like the questions. Just keep your questions pretty generic until someone invites you into a deeper conversation. You know, at the airport once, somebody was like, "Oh, where are you going?" We're like, "Oh, we're going to a doctor visit, you know, and whatever." And he was like, "Oh, what for?" And I'm like, "Okay, well, it's for my son's disability." "Oh, what kind of disability?" I'm like, "I don't know you, stranger."
Right. I shouldn't have to give you all of this. And it's
Yes.
not honestly my favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah. And I'm actually to a point like I have a Facebook group, Walk with Austin, and it's always been an outlet for me.
Everyone should follow it because it's not only really inspiring, but it's kind of funny.
Well, yeah. And I try to be like lighthearted, but educational. But I'm to the point now where I'm also trying to share less of his personal information because he's getting older and he gets to decide. Like I posted a video of him using his lift for the first time by himself. He can like put it under his legs and lift himself like a robot style over to his chair.
Takes him into the shower or takes him to the chair.
And then I guess somebody at school was like, "I saw your video." He was like, "Mom,
oh,
can't believe you posted
he's getting
that."
to the point now.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I like to share the wins, and then I like to share where we're at, like what can be done, you know.
Well, that would be my next question for you actually was sort of like, what are some things people have done that kind of blew your mind that were so thoughtful and like, wow, that was really kind, or that was really helpful, or
well, some of the kids, like you were saying, at the playground who would like stop and play with him for a minute. I love that. And I don't know if that's innate or taught or both, but kids who will recognize that there's a kid
being left out,
needing something a little different or being left out, those kids are like precious. Like save those kids.
Right.
And then people like you who always just whatever I said, took it with confidence. Whether you knew what you were doing or not, you were like, "Sure, I'll handle it." You're like, "I'm going to go get him some shoes that fit over those AFOs." Like, and that's so, it gives peace to the family. Like, I'm not the only one who has
to figure it out,
think through all these things. I'm not the only one, you know, because we do worry a lot. Who's going to care for them? Who's going to care for them at school properly? Can they go to church? Like, are they going to have a buddy? You know, all the different places where other kids get to go and experience. We want that for our kids too, but we need to make sure that they're protected and getting what they need.
Right. Yeah. My days with Austin to this day are some of my most cherished memories. There were times when we go to horse therapy and I would pack us a lunch or stop and get us lunch on the way. And then after horse therapy, I knew of this place that had zebras or zonkies, like zebra and donkeys. And we'd drive over there and I would open the van doors to the side. And we would just sit in the van watching the donkeys or zonkey or whatever the heck it was, you know, and have our lunch that way and listen to music really loud and, you know, have our Pop Rocks after and whatever our thing
you and
was.
the Pop Rocks. So funny.
But that was like, those were our moments where I felt like I got to have such a great connection with him. And now he's getting old and I feel like he's just too cool for me. Like every time I want to, I
do
see
you play
him,
Roblox?
I know.
That's about the only
but
thing
he tries to show me and I'm always like, I don't get it. I do not understand this.
Same. And I have no
That's
interest.
also something kind of interesting is that I thought about with you. I think the last time we were together, you guys were over or we went somewhere. I don't remember. But, you know, because he has limited ability to interact with kids running around playing or whatever, he's on his iPad and he's using his brain in a different way.
Yeah. And so, you know, traditional mom guilt, like, don't get too much screen time. I'm like, sorry, that's where his social life is.
Right.
And it's an activity that he can do. You know, you're really limited in a chair where like he can get out of it and kind of crawl around, but he's getting older. And so that's not comfortable. But but that's the big part. And he can play with his friends from school too, which is cute. And they just like yell about things. I don't know what they're yelling about. And
I kind of didn't realize he can interact through video games, things like that. That's so great.
Yeah. Well, so you still have to do the protective parent thing because he was on the VR talking to strangers. And
Oh,
I was
no.
like,
You had no
hey,
idea.
Austin, no, like we can't, let's turn that feature off. And he's like, these are my friends. Like, you just met. It'll
You're
be
like,
all
it's
right.
some 60-year-old man in Alabama.
I
No, it
know.
isn't.
I'm like, no. And, he has no censor. So he's like, I live in El Dorado.
Yes, this is my address. This is my mom's name.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. He
Yeah.
is, hopefully we're going to post your handle on this so people can go and follow you and see him. He's the cutest kid ever. When you say he's adorable, that's pretty much the perfect word for him.
Yeah. And people always say, he's so smiley. He's always smiling. I'm like, okay. We post the best of our life on the internet.
I know, but he does have like a really good disposition.
He does.
I think that's one of the things that was the most inspiring about my time when I used to see him every week was that, what he went through to climb up a set of stairs.
Yeah.
We so take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And he was determined and like not going to give up. Like when he locked in, he locked in. I mean, sometimes he wasn't locked in, but when he was locked in, he's like, I'm getting to the top of these stairs. And I just found it so inspiring. And he would be like, he would like stop halfway up and like roll over on his back and just start laughing about how hard it is.
Yes.
And, we'd both be laughing and like such a good disposition to be dealing with so much hard stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
I attribute that to
lucky.
you and Adam.
Oh, thanks. Hopefully we're doing something right.
You guys are so much fun that I think even with all of the limitations, like when I went to Cancun recently, all I could think about was you guys and getting around with him in his wheelchair and how other countries, like you couldn't, when I was in Italy, I was doing the same thing. I'm constantly thinking about like, man, you couldn't have gotten around on these streets.
I know.
Like it's just so
a lot
difficult.
of our friends will do that now when they travel, be like just more conscious of how do you even? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's something that also with Walk with Austin, not just playground related, but we like to share tips about that kind of thing, like travel and stuff, because
other families want to know.
Yeah. And medical equipment is really expensive and it doesn't always meet all your needs. Like insurance may not cover something, but we have like a travel chair that we use so that you don't have to rent a wheelchair van when you get wherever you're going. So those are the kind of things we learned and then we like to share.
But because you don't hold back. You guys do everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Every vacation you can imagine you do regardless if there's a wheelchair.
Yeah. We're trying to give them all the kids the same stuff, same opportunities. Trying.
I love that. I want to talk, before we get to my 3 questions that I ask every guest, I want to talk about Push. So you're one of the owners of Push.
Yes.
Is it Push Fitness?
Push EDH.
Push EDH.
Yeah.
I go there.
Yeah.
Everybody should go there.
Yep.
It's actually super fun. I've been off for a little bit. I've been traveling too much, but you're one of the coaches there. Tell me, I know what inspired, so maybe just share with our listeners what inspired you. Okay, let me go back. All of a sudden, my friend Holly got real fit and was looking real hot. And I was like, dang, you are strong and fit. And you look like happy, so happy, deeply happy and like feeling good in your own skin type of energy. And that's right around the time you started going to this place. And then you ended up an owner, of course, because that's you. So tell me kind of what took you there.
I remember specifically posting on Facebook in my personal, I want to love something like CrossFitters love CrossFit.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do that because I don't want to get like hurt. And I know myself, I'd be really competitive. And especially like I'll compete with guys and they don't even know I'm competing with them.
Right.
So then I'll just hurt myself. So I found this gym and loved it. Just needed it, loved it. I mean, I have to lift Austin for the rest of my life or at least help with transferring. So I knew I had to like do something to take care of myself. And I also just needed community. And it's an awesome community. It's a women's
community,
gym.
not around Austin's.
Yes. Around something else.
Yes.
Totally. And so I have found that there. Those are my like-minded people. They're also a large age range. And so I can talk to parents who are ahead of me. And it was amazing. And so then I became a coach because the opportunity came up and I got certified to be a personal trainer and coach there. And that was fun. And then last year, the gym was going to go through a transition going from a franchise to be independent. So a fellow coach and I, my friend Netta, we were like, are we going to do this? Okay, yeah, let's do it.
So you bought it.
Yeah, so we bought it. We rebranded it. We've been going for like 6 months. We have 99% of the same clients, same format of what kind of workouts we do and activities. And that we were lucky to have that transition. But it's really fun.
You know what I love about it? I will tell you this. Being in my 50s, going through menopause, having like muscle loss, things like that at a rapid pace. I'm seeing my parents who are struggling, like Jared's dad and his stepmom that passed away last year, they really struggled to, like, if they had been on the floor, not being able to get up,
Yeah.
things like that. My mom's having a lot of problems with her knees and her back and not being able to be mobile anymore. And so my mindset changed to like, oh, I need to start fighting for
Yeah.
the ability to maintain that. I
Yeah.
do not want to let that happen to me. And I
Mhm.
don't think they had the education that I have now
Oh, yeah.
on those things.
Mhm.
And so one of my favorite things about going to push is the ability to not just be fit. It's not about losing weight or getting jacked, although that would be great. But it's more for me about some of the things that we do, or a lot of the things that we do in the different classes, keep me agile.
Yeah. Functional fitness.
Yes. Functional life fitness, like
Mhm.
overall health.
Mhm.
Whether I'm doing sprints or I'm doing a broad jump or I'm doing,
Yeah.
what's the Heisman? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like all sorts of crazy
Get up,
things.
stand ups. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh gosh. And if I have to do one more burpee, but they make me a better
You will.
person.
You will
So,
have to do more.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's a common thought in our community, which is funny. We say like you're fighting for your grandma bod.
Yeah.
Not like you're
Yeah.
hot, like young, because you want to be that kind of parent and grandma for as long as possible.
Totally.
Yeah, we're all about functional fitness, and it's been a really crucial part of the last 4 or 5 years for me, because it was hard. There's been a lot of hard, and so that was a good, like, positive thing to go keep me baseline at least.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you're literally the strongest woman. You and I have one other friend, Megan, and you're both just, you can do pull-ups and you can do all the things that I'm like, if I can start to do at least 3 pull-ups, then I'll feel like I've made it.
Oh, yeah, me too. 3,
I'd
honestly.
I would be happy
hard.
with one. I'd actually like to be able to just hang from the bar without my hands hurting. That's where I'm at. But like, yeah, when I see you do the bar work, I'm like, she's fit. She's strong.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's 3 questions we ask every single guest. So the
Yeah.
first one, what are your last 3 ChatGPT prompts? Like, what have you done? What have you searched?
I searched Girls Weekend in Salt Lake City. Like,
was
tell
so
me what
funny.
to do.
I found you there and I was like, what?
Yeah. You're immediately like sending me the
Those are my
recommendations
people.
and stuff. Yeah. I had never been, and my Texas best friend from 5th grade, we decided to meet there and have a weekend, and it was awesome.
I love that you were like, I'm in LDS territory and there's so many rainbow flags. I didn't realize there were so many gay people. I said, there are gay Mormons, you know.
I was like, wow, Salt Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just think I don't know, ChatGPT's scary. It's so good.
It's so good.
I'm like, 2 women in their 40s
are going to Salt
Yeah,
Lake.
with 3 days. It planned everything for me. Okay,
I
cool.
love that.
And then I think I asked for some accessible backyard ideas, because we're out of our like swing playground type stuff in the backyard, and I want something more interesting.
Yeah.
So I was looking that up, and then what was the other one? Oh, small gym marketing ideas.
No, yeah, so smart. So smart.
Which it had, it wrote me a whole marketing plan, which
Really?
is genius. And we're doing probably 80% of it already, but I was like, sweet.
At least you were validated,
Free
if nothing
ideas.
else. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. I love that. Okay. What's been your greatest adventure?
Ugh. That was what stumped me when you said that was one of the questions. I mean, life is such a generic thing to say, but I think, like I was saying, being a yes person, and then like the gym and like these things that keep happening, I just need to learn to accept what is for me, And so I'm trying to do that along the way and be okay with letting stuff go that isn't for me. Like, I got married really young. That wasn't for me. I let that go,
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to live like that, like, yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think
That
that's
is a
really
generic
cool.
answer.
No, I think it's good. It's good advice. That's why I ask it. I want to hear everybody's perspective. So I hope this is okay. I'm going to share. You're a patient of ours at Aesthetic Center.
Yeah.
You're actually the one who sent me the job.
That's actually my biggest accomplishment in life.
No, I can name at least 50 more important things than that, but I appreciate it because it's been a huge change in my life. But you sent me the job online and said, this is so for you. You need to check this out. And so I did. It was like, okay, I'm ready to stop taking care of Austin. I need to get a career and grow up a little bit, get back into life. And so I went in and I ended up getting the job. But now you're on my friends and family because forever you're my girl. You helped me get dialed in. So
I've got a lot of plans.
Yeah. Well, I love it. Whenever you come in, it's so fun to get to see you there. And so 2 things. I'm going to ask you first, like, what's your favorite thing you've ever done with Aesthetic Center? And then my next question is, what is beauty to you?
I really enjoy facials with Emma because they're very educational.
My girl.
Yeah.
Emma's my daughter-in-law,
Yeah.
for anyone that doesn't know.
And I feel like I can ask my questions really like, and get an honest answer and stuff like that.
She's very passionate.
Yeah. I really,
Honestly, all of our SDs are super passionate. But
yeah. No, I know. Y'all are so lucky to have
we have a good network.
right.
They love what they do.
Everybody's like on brand because that's what they believe.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then I have plans. I have CO2 plans. I have like start over plans.
You're so funny. You'll like text me and be like, what about this? No, Holly, you don't need that.
I know. I actually had to get like a big mole removed for skin cancer reasons. And I was like, oh, can you just lift that while you're down there? Yeah. But beauty, I mean, I'm all about people doing what makes them feel beautiful. So I'll never I'll never turn my nose up to anybody's plans on physical beauty. But I think the most beautiful thing is just people being truly themselves and owning it, which I strive to do. I'm not there, but I was thinking about this. You know how when you look at pictures of yourself from like 10 years ago, you're like, oh my God, what was I wearing?
Yeah.
I wish I could look back and be like, yep, that was my 10 years ago.
I was owning those Crocs.
Yes. Yeah. No, never owned Crocs.
Me either.
Yes. But yeah, I really appreciate people who just go all in and own it and are so uniquely themselves because, oh my God, so cheesy. But that Dr. Seuss quote, like, no one's youer than you. Like, yes, do that.
Yeah. And it gives other people freedom.
Yeah. And I think that applies to kind of like the advocacy thing too. Like, if I don't do it, who will? Kind of thing. And if I'm called to do it, I should do it because somebody needs to do it. And that's on any topic.
Well, and the thing is, when all is said and done with you and Austin and Adam and all your other 3 kids, what will be your legacy? And it will be that when times got hard, you buckled up and you were like, all right, let's fight back.
Yeah. Whether we wanted
you
to
did
or
not sit down and let life happen. And I think that is a really great and beautiful legacy that you've made.
I think that is why our friendship and other friendships, like people who do hard things, those are people like to keep close, and who won't be scared away from whatever challenge is next because there's going to be something.
There's always going to be something.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're so right about that.
That's why it sticks.
Yeah. Well, I love you so much.
I love you.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. I've been really lucky. I've had the people that I love the most and I'm the closest to on the show in the beginning here.
Aww.
And it's helped me to feel safe being vulnerable and sharing some of my stories and just launching this podcast where I'm really nervous and hope people will listen. And so I've surrounded myself with the people I know I can count on. So thanks for showing up.
When you told me about it, I was like, yes, like that is perfect for you.
You're so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, thanks for coming on.
Of course.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, subscribe for more stories like this.